What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Eric here. No drop-ins tonight, no music being played, but we are talking about music, and in one particular aspect, that music is going to be Record Store Day. It's coming up. I'm new to the VC, but been watching videos off and on for some time now. And Lord knows when you get in back catalogs, everyone seems to have an opinion when it comes to Record Store Day. Right after it airs, or right after it passes, whether it's the annual one that's kind of 420-ish, or you have Black Friday now. Record Store Day is Record Store Days. Speaking of which, I guess this would be one of my personal preferences from the last Record Store Day. Caught it after the fact. This Coke bottle glass Rockarola, old school Judas Priest, pre-metal blues hard rock. Give it a shot if you like it. I found that randomly after the fact, and that's what the tidbits I'm going to talk about. I guess I have no particular order or rhyme or reason or plan this video. Forgive me for it's cold in the house and I'm not going to get up. So here we go, one shot, one take. Get it out. I got some things written down about things I might be interested. But I was just wondering what your take is. I know there's a lot of people who are just like, it's overplayed, it's hyped out, it's niche-y things for non-vinyl people that just want silly 3-inch records or 12-inch singles or alternate covers, or they're going to repress some album that's been around forever that you could find in its kind of obligatory ownership things like Captain Beefheart. I think they're pressing another version of that. Is it just for the weirdos that like it, that have to have every single version of it, or is it just another opportunity for people to be like, well, I'm supposed to own it, so here I go. I gotta buy it, and this one's a special Record Store Day, blah, 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 blah. And seems like there's people that collect that as much as finding first presses and alternate, nude covers or typos or whatever it might be. But everyone likes their runs, everyone likes their personal opinion, and you're not wrong. I just figured I'd start an open forum conversation about what you like and what you don't like. So, anyways, I'm getting more into Record Store Day, but I've noticed that a lot of times things have a way of showing up even if you don't find them, and they're not too hard to hunt down. I know some people are going to get off because it's their particular band, or they have to have it in their completest, and it's the one of 750. And so if I forget some of the things I'm about to list here that I'm into off that list, by the way, it's not that hard. I mean, just Google Record Store Day 2019 list. You'll find everything I found. But anyways, what made me think about it is I'll get into it in the next videos. I just found some nice hauls. Alright, I bought some online sales. One place off a discount. I shared that in a previous video. And then I went to pick up something that Frank at Pharmacy Records. I missed last Record Store Day, and I said, hey man, I wish I kind of missed this opportunity. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to tell this. I'm going to show it in a previous video. No need to blow my load right now. But I was like, man, you think you can hunt this down? He's like, dude, no problem. I got you. It'll be here in a few weeks. And so it was. Not a big deal. And then I went to a different record store the next day and found what he hunted me down. I got a better price for my boy, and that's cool. But I don't know. These things seem prolific. And then I guess between buying online and having someone find me something at one record store and getting a Record Store Day way post the fact, and then getting a multitude of things online way post the fact, and then that they say between two record stores and buying online, it seems to be had. I don't know how big of a deal it is really to hunt down some of these things, how rare they are, or what it really is. Anyways, feel free to leave some comments out there. Give your 2 cents. And anyways, here's some of the stuff I found funky, weird, and you guys know me. If you're new to me and you're just watching this, a little subdued, I'm about to go to bed. Your boy's back to lifting weights, kind of tired and burnt in a good way. So hopefully I'll sleep tonight. But I'll sleep tonight. Hopefully I sleep well tonight. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, if you don't know me, I keep it eclectic. I like a lot of different stuff. That doesn't make me a sucker for anything. There's plenty of music I don't like. But that being said, there's a whole lot of it I do like. I guess some people are going to be excited for this because it's impossible to find it from back in the day. I'm going to be staring up some of these cheap sheets here. There's no way I'm going to remember all these things. I think there's 300 $399 or some different things for regional releases and anyways, all this stuff, and no need to get into all those details. Look it up if you want more information. Some of the stuff I found cool. Let me blaze through this since this is a little chat and really open up grounds for discussion. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I think might be neat. My approach to this is, I guess, I have a rapport with some of these guys that own record shops. I'll ask if they think they're going to get it in. If they're cool enough to set it aside for me and it's mine, and I just know it's going to be there on record store day, I'll pay the man, so to speak, and be done with it. And if not, I might just go to record stores randomly the day of and the week after, so on. My birthday is actually 4/20. This year, record store day is a week prior to that. But you know, and I'll see what's on the shelves, man. There's always gonna be a record store day section, and depending on the size of the record store, there's usually a cluster of surplus. Lasts for months. A lot of people don't see it that way, and I'm sorry if you're in an area where supplies are limited and they get destroyed, and you're kind of just out of luck. But Greenville, South Carolina is not that crazy busy, and we seem to have good opportunity to grab a lot of these things. Some of those things I'm looking at: 13th Floor Elevators, Psychedelic Sounds of. I already got a repress, but this repress is in mono. A lot of people are going nuts for that. Sorry I interrupted myself. That's what my original train of thought was. But B-52s, Mesopotamia. Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999 Eternal. I think there's 3 different David Bowies coming out, and you'll notice too, record store day. I mean, a lot of it, you can say what you want. There's some cash grabs behind record store day. So when you're looking at record store day, anytime David Bowie passes, Queen has a resurgence, Prince passes, you better believe during that trickle off time, depending on how long it lasts and how important that artist was, or how, you know, aggressive some of the collectors are, there's going to be, for a year to 3 years, a run of anything that ties into that. And so, in that regards, there's 3 different David Bowie things. Like I say, I had it written down here, it literally says in capitals, another Troutmaster replica. I like to mix in a little bit of Dio. I already have Last in Line, but Dio Live, Last in Line. I'd be interested in hearing that performance. A lot of people are divisive on this, and you can comment in the section if you feel free. Comment on your opinion on it. You got Greta Van Fleet, From the Fires. And like, I want to say, I didn't write down the numbers and all this. I just wrote down things that I would maybe buy if I saw them, you know? Or talk to one of my record owner friends before that time comes. But that being said, Greta Van Fleet, From the Fires. Yeah, I don't hate them. Maybe it's just because I discovered them before they became famous, and then they became famous and people resented for them. I don't get the hate. For years, people were just like, man, why don't they make more music like Led Zeppelin back in the day? That's when the good music was, man. They just don't make it like that anymore, and now they are, and people are upset about it. Maybe they should give more respect or more credit or credence to the vocals, what they sound like, and the fact that I wouldn't say they're a cover or homage band. I mean, they're not playing Led Zeppelin, trying to cut cover after cover or anything like that. But I mean, you can't deny the dude's voice sounds like that. And don't play ignorant. We know who it is. But anyways, no need to go on a Greta Van Fleet rant because everyone's gonna have their opinion. If I like the way it sounds to my ear, I'll deal with it. I don't care if the guy has curly hair and dresses silly. They don't know what decade it is. I like some of the music, I can listen to it. And it's neat if all their catalog ends up on vinyl, because that's my format of choice. If you can't tell by the fact that I'm making a video in the middle of the night ranting about vinyl and a day dedicated to it. Anyways, after that, man, I'm in my mid-30s here, so I grow up and some things change and your tastes change, and you might start listening to more jazz, and maybe your metal gets a little less aggro, or maybe it gets more aggro, or whatever it is for you. But these next 2, man, if you were the same age as me back then, Green Day, they got the Woodstock set, 1994 there. That'd be a little interesting thing. I don't have any Green Day on vinyl. I actually still have some of my Green Day cassettes, though. But Green Jelly, Serial Killer Sounds. If you don't know Green Jelly, they used to be called Green Jello. They got sued, of course, by, I believe it was Kraft. Had to change their name to Green Jelly. I I think there's been about 42 billion members in that band, and constantly rotating and changing. And if you don't know who they are and you don't know their music, it's little pig, let me in. Up by the hair of my chinny chin chin, and huffing and puffing and so on. That's really hard to do without coughing in your face. So apologies, you had to sit through that. A little rap in the mix. Goody Mob. I'd be down with that, man. You know, northern born, southern raised, man. I messed with a lot of that Atlanta rap. You know, especially when I was older, it was fun. It wasn't some of this rap music now. If you like that, kudos to you. Whatever, that's your thing, do it. I want to say, what's my man, Triple X Extension? I want to say everyone's trying to say his name fancy since he passed away. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm Italian. That'd be like if every time I describe some Italian food, I'd be manicotti. You know, it's not. I don't understand. Dude's dead. His name's not any fancier. I mean, if you like his music or you didn't mind his face tattoos or whatever it is, he drew you in as an artist, and that's available. It's Record Store Day. Put him on vinyl. But multiple Grateful Deads. Everyone, if you actually watch my videos, you know I grew up on blaxploitation movies and Rudy Ray Moore, Return of Dolomite. There's a couple different Van Morrison. There's a couple different Motorheads. I want to say one's I want to say it's a double LP. I think they combined two of those late 80s, like Orgasmatron, Motorhead, everything that era, but I'm not quite sure. I know there's a couple Iggy Pops. There's a whole slew of soundtracks. Some of those, man, soundtracks are cool, and when they first repress them and it's something that's never been on vinyl, then I guess that's dope, you know, but when they repress stuff on vinyl, whether it's Record Store Day or not, and you see some new James Bond, and if you watch some of my other videos, I'm not turning the camera around, I got all sorts of James Bonds and framed Clockwork Orange and King Kong, and anyway, soundtracks are cool. They're dirt cheap a way to decorate your wall without having to buy a poster, and it's actually tangible. You can take them out of the frame and play them and spin them if you want to. But it always blows my mind when you see like all these James Bonds I got for $3, $5, $6 in great condition. When you see those for $25, I don't get that. And if you have an affinity for a soundtrack and it's never been pressed, then cool. Then you're buying the music. You like the compilation. You like the music. That's fine. So some of those I saw Office Space. Best of my knowledge, that's never been any kind of vinyl pressing before. New Jack City. Hey, man, I grew up on that movie. Yeah, if you like that, you want to frame that, you want to listen to that, that's cool. Lost in Translation. Young Scarlet. Bill Murray fan here, of course. Nice melancholy type music. If that floats your boat, so be it. But I swear, whether it's Record Store Day or not, and they repress the Rocky soundtrack, Rocky 2, like, this is just stuff you stumble into for $4 or $5. I'm not ever going to pay $12, $13 for that, but anyways, curious what your thoughts and opinions are. Are you guys clamoring for it? Is anyone out there with day jobs or jobs where it's hard to, you know, I'm a chef by trade, it's kind of hard to take a weekend off, you know? It's crunch time Fridays and Saturdays, you know? I have unsexy days off like Sundays and Wednesdays. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to make time if you're going to be the guy who waits in line. If it's that big of a deal, if you live near an amoeba or something along that lines. But, yeah, I don't know your approach to it. So that's just an open conversation. I always find it fascinating for everyone's thought on that and how they approach it. And, of course, my taste in music is my taste in music. So curious if anyone is gung-ho on Record Store Day and they just think there's going to be no chance in the future to get what they're trying to grab. Hey, what are you trying to grab? I'm curious, but it's coming up April 13th, if I'm not mistaken. And, of course, every year, Black Friday, it's going to be there. And, hey, man, thanks for tuning in. Like they say, it's not coherent. There's no real plan to it. Hopefully this starts a conversation. I'm curious, you know. Record Store Day can kind of become one of those things like what's the best type of jazz, or how do you clean your records, or repress or original, you know. A lot of people kind of get their feathers ruffled, and just tell me, are your feathers ruffled? Is your plumage immaculate? Are you a strutting peacock, proud of your future Record Store Day achievements, so to speak. But anyways, let me have it. If you think it's stupid, if you think it's the best thing ever, and it got you in a record store, record collecting, and you maintain that as a tradition, if it's something you do with your girlfriend, it's an annual tradition or whatever, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm curious. Starting conversation. Pleasure to have you here. Take care. God bless. And all that jazz.